So that's where their findings. What is the conclusion? The consistency seen among cases in this review with known COVID-19 vaccine mechanisms of injury and death, coupled with autopsy confirmation by physician adjudication, suggests there is a high likelihood of a causal link between COVID-19 vaccines and death. Further urgent investigation is required for the purpose of clarifying our findings. Well, I hope they do the further research, because I'm sure what they're going to find out, just as the FDA and the CDC says, that the vaccines are safe and effective. And this is just some goofy study that's peer-reviewed. I hope they do the further investigation. They say it's required. So if they do the further investigation, they're going to find out that that COVID-19 vaccine is safe and effective. And although there are adverse events, they are rare. Rare. So, when I think of the friends I've that have attacked me over me sticking my chin out and reporting the things that I found out about COVID, I found out that the countries that had the biggest uptake of the vaccine were also having the biggest outbreaks of COVID. I brought on Dr. Robert Malone, who told me it was a leaky vaccine, which means you can't vaccinate your way out of this pandemic. And I reported all this. And people hated me for it. People hated me just for sharing the facts about my own vaccine injury. People not only hated me, they slandered me, and they attacked me viciously. People who've been in my home. People who I've paid to perform. People who I've known all my adult life. Have, in a most scandalous ways, slandered me publicly. And continue to do so. And the good thing is, now we know who the cowards are. Now we know who would go along with the Nazis when the Nazis show up. So now you know. Everybody likes to think that, oh, you know, I would fight against the Nazis if I was in France. I would be part of the resistance. Now you know who wouldn't. Now you know who would turn in their Jew friends. Now you know. And now I know those people were never really friends. Those people were cowards, go-alongs, and horrific, integrity-challenged motherfuckers. And they're all over Hollywood. They're all over the comedy scene. They're all over it. Not one of them with the guts to say shit. Look at all those comedy, the top comics in the country. Go watch their specials from the last 3 or 4 years. Shaming, slandering, smearing, insulting anybody who questioned Big Pharma, the murderers of the world, and corrupt government employees. As you can see, I'm having a hard time getting over it, especially when a study like this comes out. But of course, I'm sure this study has got to be incorrect. They say they need further urgent investigation to clarify their findings, because I'm sure the FDA and the CDC isn't lying. The FDA and the CDC says the vaccine's safe and effective. In fact, they are recommending your 10th booster right now. Right now, I just saw a tweet from the CDC. The head, it's a female. The head of the CDC says, you get ready to get your 10th booster. They wouldn't say that if it wasn't safe and effective. So of course it is. And this this new peer-reviewed study is off their rocker. I say follow the CDC and the FDA. And if not, the Bill Gates funded WHO. Why would the Bill Gates funded WHO ever lie to you? Why would they ever mislead us? That's who you should be following. So it'll never say under Chris Cuomo's Wikipedia page that he's a conspiracy theorist. It'll never say under Rachel Maddow's Wikipedia page she's a conspiracy theorist, even though they've spread the biggest conspiracy theories of all time. Russiagate, the Ukraine war, the gas attacks in Syria, Libya, and everything associated with COVID. And it just blows my mind that there are still people who are grown-ups, grown-up men, grown-ass men and women who still think that they're getting the news from TV. That just blows my mind. Okay, over to Steph.
Okay, I just want to say a lot of nice things being said in the chat right now, Jimmy. Lot of nice things. This one cracked me up. Blank and blank crashed their careers over that crap. Blank still wears a mask everywhere. Total fucktards. All right. Hilarious, Jennings. Very funny. And there were similar kind of sentiments throughout that statement, Jimmy, that you were sharing with everybody. And yeah, it's a heartbreaker. You know, we'll go to clubs and like I see a couple comics and I'm like, I'll go up and give them a hug. And I forgot why they're rigid when I give them a hug because I'm excited about seeing them, but they're not so excited about seeing me.
No.
And I was like, oh. And they're never going to acknowledge it. They're never going to.
Because that would take integrity and dignity. And those people don't have courage, they don't have integrity, and they don't have dignity. All those people who still walking around wearing masks have no dignity. Oh, they hate themselves. I know comedians who wear masks when they walk into the club, when they're sitting in the green room, and they take it off when they go on stage. Isn't that like having sex with a hooker, and then you take your condom off in the middle? Either you're afraid of it or not. You all know that the COVID virus is very respectful of stage time. Oh, God wouldn't allow me to get COVID while I'm on stage. So those own people by themselves doing that, it shows you they're not afraid of that virus. Yet they're still wearing a mask off stage. So if you take the mask off when you're on stage, that tells me you're not afraid of it. It's like the people who I see on planes. They take their mask off to go to eat on the plane. You think the virus leaves you when you're eating? My favorite is the people who wear the mask underneath their nose. There's nothing funnier than that. Maybe the guy who wears the mask in the car alone.
I went to a doctor's office, and the receptionist was wearing a mask under her nose, demanding I wear a mask in the office. Crazy making. Pasadena's crazy world, by the way. Pasadena doctors' world is crazy. They have their own health organization in Pasadena, and they require all the doctors to continue to wearing the mask, even when you didn't have to. It's awful. Are you ready? You need a little bit of time.
Go ahead, read.
Okay. All right. There was a lot of love in these chats. Hilarious. Okay, let me open these up. I read that one. Oh, this one was really interesting. From Amon P. I'm a nursing student that decided to get into nursing after seeing how many nurses were complete idiots about the vax. At least I will be able to give citations and sources to patients. Look at you. You sound like a radical. You sound like the perfect audience member for us here. All right, let's see this one. And they also said, Jimmy, those weren't really true friends. Hard hard to deal with that. Blue Nose said you've got steps to Steph, so you're good. I think that's really sweet. And then there was another one. What was